Hello, everybody. Welcome to Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony T. As we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays YouTube channel and throughout social media. We're going to get you out of here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive Thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's over live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and to deliver those winners at professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. With us is Brian Bittler, David Racy, John Burtz, Jay Briggs, and Rod is a wacky. Hey, here we go. Here's it from the parade. Jay Briggs, here's how they'll line up for this evening. Bittler, Racy, Briggs, Burtz, the wacky, then I will close this one out. All right, a little bit of everything today. NHL, big card from the NBA. Of course, we do have NFL Monday Night Football. We've got the start of college basketball. Oregon up by 20 now, 9 minutes to go against Georgia in the Hall of Fame Classic in Las Vegas. There'll be a gap until Kansas State plays USC. There's two men's game and two women's game in that tournament there. That's why you'll have this big gap in time between the men's start of the men's games. Let's get this one underway. Let's go ahead and welcome in here to the show. I'm Brian Bittler. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Things looking up there. We'll bring him in right now. Philadelphia gets the win. And hey, your Temple Owls pulled in a big upset.
Yeah, you know what? I was really kicking myself for not using the Temple Owls as a premium play, because when you lose a game 55-0, you're probably going to bounce back and at least play respectable in the next game. And they knocked off the Navy, right?
They knocked off the Navy. They pounded them, and it was a surprise that Temple Owl got the win. But yeah, we always Brian's in Philadelphia. There's no other team to talk about in Philly in college football but the Temple Owls. So that's how we.
Well, so was Air Force knocking off. Army knocking off Air
yeah, that
Force.
Was another
shocker. Yeah.
The Army got pounded by LSU, right? Big another pounding there. So we've seen some back-to-back ones there. But anyway, we go to the NBA tonight. The Kings not having the injury luck they had last year, right? This was the most healthy team last year, but they're dealing with some injuries. In a game 2 of their 2-game miniseries with the Rockets, the Kings 2.5-point favorites sold to 18.5.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys, really two teams match up tonight. This is the second of a back-to-back between these two teams. Rockets defeated this Kings team 107-89 in this first matchup. Dylan Brooks led the Rockets with 26 points, while Malik Monk tossed in 18 points. You see, this morning and all throughout the day, tons of money coming in on this road Kings team, who really haven't shown much life early on in the season. They're going to be without De'Aaron Fox, set to miss this game for the Kings. I think that's going to be a big absence for them. Kings have dominated the recent series between these two teams. I believe they've covered 8 of the last 10, might even be 9 of the last 10. But here, the Rockets' rare chances to win, and this line really jumped off the page to me. Even without Fox, you think the Kings would be favored by a little bit more, especially it's tough to beat a team on back-to-back nights. But I think the Rockets can do it. I'm going to take the Houston Rockets here plus the 2.5 to get the job done.
All right, Brian says go ahead and go here with the Rockets here plus the 2.5 here against the Sacramento Kings tonight in this 12-game card here from the NBA. Of course, remember, this is a new look Rockets team, a little bit more veterans on the board here. Van Fleet had a good game here in that win. Malik Monk, of course, they got bench scoring at the Sacramento Kings. But again, it's the issue here you have with these Kings is the defense they're not playing very well, and we're seeing some issues there with the Kings shooting this year. They're not shooting at that pace they did last season.
I think as the season goes on, the Kings are going to find their groove and become that playoff team we think they could be this year. I think this Rockets team might be the new Thunder Buddies. I have to keep a close eye on Houston because they're a team that's usually off the radar. Not that they're going to contend for any playoff spot, but as far as covering spreads, I think the Rockets will be a team to watch at least early on in the season. Yeah,
in their 3 road games, Kings just 42% shooting, having struggles making basket. But the one thing you notice here with this Rockets, remember, it's a coaching change. Okay, right? They make that major coaching change in Houston. You can already start to see a defensive culture there right now. Yeah, you're starting to see it here with the Rockets overall allowing 45.9%, but in their home games, allowing just 43.9% shooting, 105 points a game. So you can see the impact there with the coaching change.
Yeah, if they can keep that play up against the Sacramento Kings and their poor defensive play, they'll be able to steal games like this all season long. So hopefully the Rockets can. I think the Rockets win outright tonight, but I always play it safe and take those points in the pocket because you never know where you're going to need them.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned like this may be the new Thunder, but it's because that's kind of their road, right? They're a defensive-minded team. They use defense to cover spreads, right? And that's kind of what looks like.
A team that's not a super public team, it's not a New York Knicks team. It's not a Boston Celtics. It's a team a little bit off the radar. Houston Rockets, kind of like the Thunder, who don't always get that first look, but that's where you find the value sometimes in the NBA.
Yeah, especially you get the inflated favorites here, and you get the defensive teams that can just get within the number there. And they covered 3 games of the 5 they played this season.
Yep, and I think as we go on, I think as the season goes on, they might be one of the top 7, 8 profitable teams in the NBA by the end of the year. I'm not going to say they're going to be in the top 5, but they can crack the top 10.
Yeah, all it takes is just being from the bottom of the barrel to at least in the top 2/3. That's all you need to do to get to find value in the
I love home dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, so keep an eye on these Rockets. The coaching change. Look at the defensive numbers. They're facing a Kings team that's dealing with injuries and poor shooting. Rockets plus 2.5 here against the Kings tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Brian, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Print for tonight's action. Of course, we got that big NBA card. We start college basketball tonight as well. NHL on the board, the Monday night game from NFL. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Well, my best bet's always my Titanium, and that's my NFL best bet tonight. Head on over to pickdogs.com, pick up that Titanium wager for just $25, gets you that best bet. Also have one in college basketball and one play in the NBA. You can get all 3 of my plays in my Monday Mayhem 3-pack. All 3 plays, $50, pickdogs.com, guaranteed to turn a profit or a credit return.
That's right, guys. I get on board here with Brian Bill over at Pick Dogs Premium. And it's ready to go here with Brian. Get those long-term passes. You guys love that 7-day pass here on a Monday. I'll get all Brian's premium plays for 7 days. All the NBA, NHL, college basketball, NFL. All these sports are overlapping. Perfect time to get on board with Brian with the long-term pass. All right, Brian, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again on Friday.
Hopefully I'll be running hot by Friday, and I'll be looking forward to some square dancing, and I'll definitely catch you at the end of the week.
See you at the end of the week. All right, Brian Bittler here on The Drive. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, we're bringing David Racy. Catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. We'll bring David in right now. I think we'll be set to roll here. David Racy, CTT, where we roll here with David. David Racy. David, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. All right, here we go tonight. We go to the NHL as the Bruins and Stars go head-to-head here. We see the Stars favored in this one, total 5.5.
Yeah, this is a great matchup here in the NHL as we have 2 of the teams towards the top of the NHL facing off here. Dallas comes into this one winning 6 out of their last 8, but they are coming off of a loss to Vancouver in their last one, but that's no shame. That Vancouver team is very good this season. The Stars are only scoring 2.9 goals per game, but they have been solid defensively this season, and they're at home where they're 3-1. I really like Dallas here in this one. I know Boston has started the season with only 1 regulation loss, but this Dallas team, while they have struggled to score goals over the first 12 games or so, they have scored 4 goals or more in 3 of their last 4. Going over to Boston, like I said, they did just pick up that first regulation loss to the Red Wings over the weekend, but they are 9-1-1 and 4-1 on the road. They have a great record, but they have played in some tight games recently. In their last 5, they have 2 losses, 2 overtime wins, and 1 3-goal win. So they have been not as dominant as that record suggests. Both goaltenders are playing well, but the key here is Boston is missing a few key defensemen, and I think that'll be the difference along with Dallas at home. So I'm going to take the Stars to get the win at home.
All right, we've got David here going on the Stars money line to take that win at home. Interesting to note here with the Stars, this will be their first home game here after a 3-game trip on the road. And it's weird here with the way the schedule works here for the Stars is they come off a 3-game road trip, they play 1 at home, then they go on the road again for 3. There may be some spots here to go against them because my theory here is when you come home after a road trip, you play 1 game and go out. To me, I count that like a road game.
Yeah, it is an interesting scheduling quirk, and I kind of went with that in their last game against Vancouver. I took the Canucks knowing that was their last game of a 3-game trip. But yeah, coming home for 1 and then going back out for 3, certainly interesting. And then they get to go home for looks like 5 or 6. But yeah, definitely interesting. 2 very solid teams. So I'm excited to watch this one because we don't get a ton of great matchups in the NHL, and this is certainly one of them.
Yeah, keep an eye on Dallas here on the tail end of their next upcoming 3rd-game road trip. They'll be at Minnesota. That will be a back end of a back-to-back. And I mean, that will be their 6th road game in 7 games. And they would have played Winnipeg on the 11th. Then on the 12th, they go to Minnesota. So that's something to keep an eye on there when you look at the upcoming schedule here for this quirky scheduling spot here for Dallas. All right, Dallas money line here, minus 139 against the Bruins. This one have a start time here at 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, David, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, we do have on the board here action here from the NFL, big card, NBA, college basketball, NHL as well. Good numbers here from the NHL from David. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, I have a little bit of everything going tonight. I have 1 play in the NFL, 1 in the NHL, 1 in the NBA, and 2 in college basketball. I have all 3 of the basketball ones in a 3-pack, and then the NHL and NFL are individual. So head on over there, join me for the day, or join me long term, which will give you a much better value. But yeah, like you said, I've started hot in NHL, positive units in NBA as well. So head on over to Pick Dogs Premium, and let's have a winning night.
That's right, get a winning night indeed with David Racy over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the great results here from David, 475 units of profit. So get on board with David Racy on his actions for tonight. Or as you guys like to do, get those long-term passes. No better time than now. There's all these sports overlapping with all the major leagues, from NBA to NFL, NHL in there, as well as college basketball, college football. Perfect time. Some of you guys thinking about that 1-month pass. A lot of college football major action from college football championship Saturday in there as well. NFL, Thanksgiving games as well with that 1-month pass. Way to roll with that. Use the promo code PICK at checkout and you will save. You will save here that the actually better when you use the long-term pass, and of course use the promo code PICK at checkout and you'll save that 15% off. Someone's asking about the Bruins at plus money here. He was asking, is this a trap game? Someone was asking in the chat whether Bruins at a plus money. It's almost like they're trying to get people to take that number, right?
Yeah. Well, the issue too is, like I said, they're missing some defense, some defensemen, which was obvious in their last game against Detroit. They really played some poor defense in that one, and I think Dallas is better than Detroit. Boston being on the road once again here, I just think it's a tough spot for them missing those guys.
All right, so it's in the defense there. All right, David, it's always great having your show. Have yourself a great evening. Keep up the great work. We'll catch up with you the next week. We can always catch your written work over on the site.
Yep, one of the free pick article writers over at pickdogs.com. For just about every single sport, you can find a free pick. You head it over to the site, either Pick Dogs or Sports Chat Place. You click that free pick tab, click on whatever sport you're looking for, and you can get a free pick from either me or any of the other article writers. But it's a great place for information. You get some trends, and you get a free pick out of it. So head on over to the sites and check it out.
Check it out, guys. Get on board there and check out David over the written content over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat. All right, Dave, have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, I appreciate it, Tony. Thank you.
You got it. David Racy here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show. Up next is bringing Jay Briggs. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now. Ready to roll here. Just a second. There we go with Dave. Bringing Jay here. Here we go with Jay. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening?
What's going on? All right, here we go. Tonight's NBA on the board here. Sixers taking on these Wizards, and we see the big number here. 76ers, 11.5, total to 28.5.
It is a pretty big number here. The thing is the Sixers are a good favorite, and they're 5-0 ATS to begin this season. One of the few teams still have yet to not cover a spread. The Wizards, I like Jordan Poole. I like Kyle Kuzma, and sometimes they're going to be able to shoot themselves in games. But most nights, I think they're going to shoot themselves out of games, and I definitely think that happens out on the road here. I'm not overcomplicating this one. I think Philly stomps down on the Wizards. I see a 15-plus point win for the better team. Now that James Harden is no longer on the Philadelphia 76ers, they have that weight off their shoulders. They know who's in their locker room, and I expect this team to continue to hoop. They got the MVP from last season. I don't see nobody stopping him on the Wizards, and I see Maxey, Poole probably going back and forth. In the end, should be a 15-point win for the Sixers.
All right, Jay says Sixers here. 11 is in where most of the places are right now. Sharpest book in the world shows 11.5, but that may change here in a second. We're also starting to see 12 start to pop up right now in sharp books in Vegas. So get that 11 now, because the two sharp books in Vegas right now are at 12. So a lot of line discrepancy here as we get closer and closer to the game time here. And yes, no doubt about that. One thing people, probably why the Sharps like the Sixers side is because they are playing defense, right? Holding teams at 43% shooting. And, of course, this Wizards team, they play fast, but they play wild, and it's a little out of control. You knew it was going to be fast with Jordan Poole over there, right? We knew that was going to be the case. The defensive numbers have just been poor.
Yeah, like I said, they're volume shooters. So there's nights where Jordan Poole can go 14 for 17, have 45 points, and play extremely well. I just don't think that's going to be most nights. Most nights is going to be closer to 6 for 14, maybe 2 threes, and they shot themselves out of the game early. And against a good defensive team like the Sixers, I think the latter is more likely to happen tonight. And if that does happen, again, it should be a 15-point win for the Sixers.
It's funny with this Wizards team. It was Dana was talking about what they've done over the years, but it always seemed like these guys that don't play defense but put up a lot of points seem to end up over there.
That's what they attract. And, hey, it's kind of crazy how some teams, attract certain guys. There's a rumor out there saying the Clippers attract guys. The Clippers are where guys go to die. You never get better when you leave the Clippers.
Oh, no. Chris Paul?
Everybody.
That's right. Blake Griffin. Where's Blake Griffin these days?
Yeah,
DeAndre Jordan?
There's a long list of guys that were good when they went to the Clippers, had solid careers in LA.
Yeah.
But when they left,
Yeah, Eric Gordon was having trouble getting time. DeAndre Jordan, I don't know where he ended up, man. Yeah, that was back in those hop days, right? What they call alley-oop, or what was the name? With the Chris Paul alley-oops?
Lob City.
Lob City, that's right. They're up in Lob City. Didn't last very long there. All those guys not doing well. So I know we don't have this on the card today from the Cappers. Your Mavs are in action tonight here against the Magic. Of course, there's injury game here, but we're seeing here the Mavs just about a point favorite here, 228 against Orlando.
Yeah, so the news came down. Luka will play and Kyrie Irving will play. I think this is one of the better games on tonight. This line has flipped. It was Magic favorite this morning. I think now it's right where it should be. I think the Mavs are the better team. The Magic are up and coming. I like the Magic. They've only not covered for us once. So we're going to make a ton of money betting the Magic this season. But in this one, I know the Mavs were the worst ATS team in the NBA last year, but this is a short number. I think they are the better team. They've only lost a single game this year. They are on the back end of a back-to-back. So I think it's going to be a really good game. I still think the Mavs are the better team. I think they go get the Magic today, in all honesty.
Yeah, a lot of injuries again. This looks like the last couple of years for the Magic again. Here we go. A pile of injuries. Carter, Fultz, Harris, and Isaac out.
Yep. And, those are a couple guys that have been playing well for them. Fultz, Carter, Isaac's even playing well. So I think that injury bug might bite them tonight. Not as deep as they have been. I think that's one of their best attributes. They've been so bad for so long that they've drafted high for so long that they've been able to kind of stockpile a lot of young talent. But a lot of those guys are out tonight.
Yeah, a lot of them are out tonight. What do you take here from the Dallas loss? Obviously, it's going to be tough now to win that division. That's the tough part about it, right? Because now you're looking at an uphill battle. You're looking at now wild card possibilities opening on the play. It's tough for a good second-place team in the NFL.
We saw it last year. We were able to have a good record, which I think we will again this year. Earn a home playoff game. Actually, last year we went on the road to Tampa. Yeah. Beat them. We were the better team in that game. I think that's probably what's going to happen here. But then we're either going to have to go on the road to Philadelphia or on the road possibly to San Francisco. We know what San Francisco has done to us the past few seasons. They got our number. So, hey, we competed with Philly yesterday. If it came down to it, I think we can beat them. But until I see it happen, I can't necessarily just sit here and say when the chips are on the table that it's going to happen. When the Philadelphia Eagles were in the Super Bowl last year, Dallas, I think, is the third or fourth best team in the NFC. We've seen the third or fourth best team go on runs to the Super Bowl before. We'll see if they can do it this year. Hey, again, I'm 24. I've never seen them in an NFC championship game, so I necessarily wouldn't expect it.
Well, we'll see how it rolls. These are competing here, but interesting. They're going to be hosting the Giants, and other than a week, I don't think this line has been ever this big in a Giant Cowboy to my. And of course, obviously, week 17, week 16, you get these wacky numbers, but here in a game in week 10. The Cowboys are going to be 16-point favorites with a total of 38.5 against the Giants.
Yeah, this is the biggest point spread thus far this year, I believe. It will be Tommy DeVito. Daniel Jones tore his ACL. I mean, the first game was 40-0. So, and and that was in New York. Dallas has won now, 12 straight at home. It just possibly sets up as a boat race. They usually bounce back tremendously off L's. They're probably going to stomp down the Giants, but it doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, it's just one of those games. You just get through it healthy, and the total's low, which I could see 23-3. We never see this score. We used to see it a lot back in the day, 23-3, some stuff like that. We may see something like that. It's going to be tough for the Giants to score here in that game. Make note here with your Longhorns on the road against TCU is starting to disintegrate. Now, I was worried about TCU with the coaching change, and we're starting to see the team pedal backwards. It wasn't just the fact they lost to Colorado. I'm not a big fan of the head coach. He's had some poor track records in Power 5 conferences in his time with Cal. And we see here TCU going to be a 10-point underdog against TCU. TCU is going to be a 10-point underdog at home against Texas.
It's crazy how the mighty have fallen, man. This team was just in the championship game last year, and now they're not good this year. Let's just call it a spade a spade. They're not good this year. Me and you have been on that since day one. We thought that this team was not going to be very good this year. Texas, ATS, these past couple weeks, they stumbled. Going into TCU, Mitch has kind of hit this on the head. With Texas leaving the Big 12, moving to the SEC, this is a couple of these Big 12 teams' last chance to get at Texas. So they're taking it like their Super Bowl for the year. So, I think that's one of his greatest points. And he's definitely right. When you live here in Texas growing up, you dream of going to Texas. And if you don't get to Texas, then you go to TCU, you go to Houston, you go to the other schools. And you play Texas, and you kind of got that. You're kind of wearing that you're not at Texas. Texas is head and shoulders the better team. They should stomp down on TCU, but I wouldn't be surprised if they found a way to keep that game competitive and covered the line.
One of the bigger stories to start the season was this Colorado team, and we've seen what's happened here over the past couple of seasons with Colorado at 4-5, needing to win 2 of 3 to make a bowl game. Even at 6-6, if they do that, even at 6-6, it won't be a success. It won't be a big party there in Colorado. But Arizona has been the team on the rise in the Pac-12. An early start here. They're going to be in Colorado, laying about 10.5 in that one.
Colorado has to improve over the offseason. Offensive line, I think that's the biggest issue because Shador is just getting beat up off the point of attack. And I think that's where teams, and as the season has gone on, as the offensive line is not as fresh, defensive lines are absolutely killing them. So they've covered now back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, they're covered as these big double-digit dogs. They've been covering.
So, I'm 9 times out of 10 I'm grabbing the points with them this weekend. But I'm upset that I'm going to have to be paying Mitch and Ruffolo some pancakes at the Pepper Mill because they're not going to get those wins probably to make the bowl game.
That's right. All right, Jay here on Sixers on the record here, laying 11 against the Wizards tonight, 7 Eastern time. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, we got NBA on the board, a Big 12 game card. There's college basketball on the board as well tonight. Jay will get on the ice when he sees opportunities as well as action in NFL. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs? Great numbers in NFL this season.
Yeah, man, great numbers in the NFL. Trying to keep that rolling. We dropped our play of the day yesterday. It was the only play we lost. Went 3-1. That's unfortunate. I hate when that happens. But we look to bounce back on that play today. I got one tonight in the Monday Night Football game. Look to keep a great season rolling in the NFL. You can scoop that play up. Y'all know what today is, man. It is a huge Monday night NBA card, and of course, I'm locked and loaded there, man. I got premium plays locked and loaded. I got my play of the day in the NBA. I got a 3-pack. I got a 5-pack. I rarely have 5-packs, but I got one of those tonight in the NBA. I got like 7 plays total in NBA tonight. I really love tonight's card. Best thing to do if you want every single one of these plays, hop on long term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, monthly, yearly, seasonal, or pair me up with one of these great guys who are on the show or at Pick Dogs. And we'll put some money in your pocket long term.
That's right, guys. Get some money indeed. Get on board with Jay Briggs over at Pick Dogs. Great results in NFL this year. He's got his plays up on the board tonight, or you guys can go with long-term passes. Best value right now with all these sports overlapping. You guys like that 7-day pass on a Monday. Get the entire NFL Week 11. Week 10 college football, Week 11 with that 7-day pass. All the NBA, all the college basketball, and if you find something on the ice, he's down there too. So get on board with Jay Briggs.
College hoops on the horizon. I didn't have a play today. I kind of want to fill out the landscape, but y'all know I'm going to be locked and loaded on the hardwood college hoops all season. So I'll be there soon. Just give me a couple days to kind of check out the landscape.
Yep, indeed. Get on board with Jay Briggs. Use that promo pick to get save the 15% off. Scoring update. Georgia's cut that lead from 20 down to 10 with 1:50, and Oregon having trouble making free throws. Dana,
what was that line? 6.5?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be close.
You're gonna have to sweat it out at the end because this Oregon team is not making the free throws. So we'll interesting to see the final 2 minutes of this one. And they got one, so it went up to 11, 151. True TV has this one, and of course TNT will have the Kansas State USC game later tonight. As the two women's games will come after this. All right. Well, looks like Georgia can't make a shot. So Oregon with the ball looking to extend. All right, Jay. Have a great night, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Tony T, appreciate you, my man, and I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Jay Briggs here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Javon Burtz is up next. Catch him over at Pick.com. Come from Monster NFL Weekend. Bring him in right now. Javon, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Tony? How you, man?
Doing great. I almost took the Spurs yesterday, and I'm glad I didn't because I would not be very happy. But I somehow missed that. I missed it. But anyway, they're on the road here, back-to-back against these Pacers here. We see the line here, Pacers 8.5, total 238.5.
Yeah, and I'm on the over now. You know, these two teams that like to get to it, up and down the court. You know, they're 5-1. Both of them are 5-1 to the over this year. And I think this one's going over. You know, like I said, they go up and down the court. As far as possessions per game, you have the Spurs at number 2 in that category, and you have the Indiana Pacers. I believe they're number 7 or number 8 in that category. And as far as offensive efficiency, you have the Pacers somewhere around the 7-8 range, and I believe the Spurs are in like the 18-19 range in the NBA. So, you know, you're dealing with two teams that like to fill it up, or at least try to fill it up, get as much possessions as they can up and down the court. And you know, Wemby on the court and Tyrese Halliburton, there should be a lot of excitement on the court. You know what I mean? A lot of young guys shooting a lot of threes, a lot of you know, slashing to the basket, you know, all that pretty stuff, you know. So, you know, I think this one's going over the total. You know, it should hit 240 at least. And if this total doesn't rise to that, I'm all over this over. So give me the over.
All right, we got Javon here says go over Spurs and Pacer, kind of laying it out there as far as offense. Teams playing good offense with bad defense, but also knowing here that the Spurs played a fast pace and the Pacers played the third fastest pace. So well, it's gonna be fast out there tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, watching these two teams get up and down the court, man, you might want to grab a seat. Don't go to the refrigerator to get anything because you might see a 10-point spurt in a matter of a minute. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just gonna be one of those games.
Yeah, one of those games, and of course, Javon over there in the New England area. I can't have to mention the start for this Boston Celtics team. They've come out of the blocks pretty impressively.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, they definitely upgraded in talent. I'll say that. I wasn't really a fan of the Porzingis move. Not at first, but then I started thinking about it and started to see the vision. You know, if they're gonna want to be, you know, an offensive team, then they gotta have, you know, the right type of talent. He's one that could do that, and he could bring a little something to the defensive end, even though he's soft as baby shit, as far as I'm concerned. But against the the more aggressive teams in the league, But then when they got Drew Holiday, when they made that move, that replaced the Marcus Smart, him and and his grittiness. So, I like the way they're going. I don't like the head coach. I've been clear about that, but you're not going to need a head coach as far as that. When you have the talent that they have on the team, until you get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then that's when the decision making happens for these coaches. So we'll see. They'll be in the Eastern Conference Finals, that's for sure.
Yeah, their line was bouncing around a little bit. It's moved up back to 3.5. Porzingis with the eye injury. The word now is that he will suit up. So that's what he said. You suit up. You put your uniform on. You think you should play, right?
You got to show a little bit of toughness. It's only game 7 of the season, or game 6 or whatever it is of the season for the Celtics. So you show a little bit of toughness. It's only a little eye injury. Squint.
Yeah, a little eye injury.
Squint
Play
with one eye closed.
Why don't you just put on some goggles? We saw guys put goggles on when you get this guy injury. That's all you want to do. You protect the eye, just put goggles. No big deal. It's interesting to note here because this will be an interesting test because we don't think about this with the Timberwolves, but when you look at the defensive ratings, Minnesota's number 1 in defensive efficiency.
Yeah, they're number 1.
Yeah,
right. Something's clicked over there as far as what they're trying to do defensively. And I heard a report from the coach over there, and he said last year they didn't really have any real identity, especially on the defensive end, and he kind of called his players out, and I guess they took notice because they're coming out playing defense. They got Mike Conley over there. Maybe he's the linchpin of that. You know what I mean? They got Gobert. So he does his thing on the defensive end. He's not worth a damn offensively, but unless you're lobbing a ball up to him so he could dunk it or something like that, because he has absolutely no moves on the court. You know what I mean? So you got the big cat stretching out there, being the stretch 4 out there, and then you got Anthony Edwards. So these are guys that are athletic enough to play defense, and some of their role players, they could get after it too. So they're gonna be a force tonight.
Yeah, some of these starters, their contracts are coming up. If you want to be a starter on a good team, you better play good defense, or else you'll end up on Washington, you'll end up in Detroit. That's where you got to go when you can't play D.
And no one wants to go there. But with Detroit, they do have some sort of talent over there. But Washington, goddamn, those guys. Hey, listen, this is looking like the old Washington Bullets out there.
Yeah, it's kind of
from the 80s, from the late 80s and early 90s.
It looks like what's that?
Bad.
What were those leagues in New York? What do they call those leagues in New York? Remember, they used to show those on NBA TV. They look like one of those teams that no defense, just run up and down, just all offense. It's interesting to know. You're being out there in New England area. We got to mention this. The Patriots. I mean, after losing the Commanders, what are the people in New England saying? Everyone's talking. Oh, Belichick's going to head to the Raiders. I'm hearing people talk about Belichick leaving New England. I mean, what's the feeling over there in New England with this team?
Listen. I think the thing with him is he has an ironclad contract, and I think he has a handshake agreement with Robert Kraft. To stay as long as he wants. He's made Robert Kraft a lot of money. I think, the fact of the matter is he has a quarterback that gives up the ball way too much. They have Crybaby Jones there, and as long as he's under center, they're not going to win. It's that simple. Because even if you say, okay, they don't have the talent around them, you bring a decent quarterback in there, he'll get you 2 wins that Mac Jones is basically throwing away. You know what I mean? So he gave up another one. They were driving down the field a little bit, interception. You know what I mean? So, and that's what happens when you have bad quarterback play. It all goes to hell. So a decent quarterback, they might have been, let's say 3-4 this year. With his quarterback play alone, it's cost him at least 3 games.
Oh, nigga like cry guys.
Well, no.
If they like the guys that cry, maybe
what are they now? Hold on, no. I'm sorry, because they're 2-7 right now.
Yeah.
So I believe they would have been, let's say 4-5 or 4-5 or 5-4, somewhere around there, somewhere in the middle of the road, somewhere where they have been in the post Brady era. Because even with the likes of Cam Newton, they were hovering around 500, and that was a god awful offense. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine how this offense is, and they do have a little bit of talent. They do have some young guys. Demario Douglas doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that. Kendrick Bourne before he went out. With the injury. They got the running back Stevenson. Guys like that. They do have some sort of meat on the bone, but it all rests on the quarterback. And as long as you have this guy on the field, then you're not gonna win. He's that bad.
Yeah. Well, you got the criers. You might get Caleb Williams crying his way to New England too.
Hey, listen, but he's talented. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Need talent. Need talent. Talent wins out.
Yep, we got everyone in there saying, yeah, Rooker Park. Yeah, that's like Washington looks like a Rooker Park team.
You talk about the Rucker and all that
yeah,
stuff.
That's what the Wizards look like, the way they play, and the players they've had over the years. It's just all offense, no defense. It just cannot get off that. And of course they get Jordan Poole, right? Oh, you can't play defense. That's why he's, and they, we'll take him. Says Washington.
Yeah, right. Right.
And then you get all these.
Hey, listen, how the mighty have fallen. He got a somewhat big contract. Was riding high over there in Golden State with the champs. And he gets punched in the face, and he's the one that shipped out of town.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
gotta love it.
Yeah, that's
gotta
right.
Love it.
No doubt about that. All right, John here. Spurs Pacers over 238. This would have a start time 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Javon, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight. We got NFL on the board tonight. Javon, great NFL numbers this year. Also on the board tonight, NBA 12-game card, college hoops, even late night college hoops as well tonight, as late as 11:30 Eastern. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yeah, I got a lot going on a Monday. I got a 3-pack, with three sports going: NBA, college basketball, and the NFL game, the Monday night game. Also got the standalone on the Monday night game, and I have 2 different 3-packs on the college basketball side. I usually don't jump right in on opening night, but this year I am. And I'm kicking myself in the ass that I didn't that I didn't take Oregon. Because what was the final on that one?
Let's see here. I won't get it to you right now. They're showing the replays here. Some monster dunks. I didn't get the final here. Let's see let me pull up the numbers here. See if we get the chat. But
I'm pretty sure they covered. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they covered. I'm locked and loaded on that. Got 2 different 3-packs on that. One all favorites for a 3-pack and all underdogs for a 3-pack. So, I got that. So basically, I got 8 plays going on a Monday. Got to jump on it while it's hot. There's favorable matchups, especially in the early season in college basketball. You just got to pick them out. You know what I mean? So check me out my 3-day, my 30-day, my weekly, and my yearly. Or match me with one of the other handicappers from the 2-for-1 Kappa Promotional. Can't go wrong here at Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs. Let's get it.
That's right, guys. Get on board. 82-71, 11-point win for Oregon. Get on board with Javon Burtz over at Pick Dodge. Great results there in the NFL. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% on the long term. All right, Javon. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you later in the week.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Win. See you on Friday.
We'll see you on Friday here. Javon Burtz here on the drive through. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, we're going to go ahead and bring in Rod Zawacki. Catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. We'll bring Rod in right now. Ready to roll with Rod. Rod, what's happening?
Well, not too much. Just waiting for some of this action to start. We knew the Ducks were going to win this one. Didn't we pick this one earlier on Friday?
Yep.
Quite sure we took the Ducks on Friday when we went over the card early looking. Mm-hmm. We were like, Georgia lost some guys from last year, and the Ducks are definitely looking to improve this year. And look what they did already, game 1. So.
Yep, game one. They just pounded Georgia here. The lead was up as much as 20 here in that final 5. Got down to 10, and they just kind of closed it out from there. But tonight we go to the ice.
Take the foot off the gas. They were up big. They were up big. Took the foot off the gas. Put the backups in. Give them a little bit of a chance at getting some minutes. That's what happened in the end.
We've seen it before. They got to get those minutes in. And tonight we go at 10 Eastern time, late night game tonight. Oilers and Canucks. This Canucks team. Wow, where did this come from? But anyway, Oilers here, short favorite, 107. Look at the total here, up to 7.
Yeah, the total, I believe in the first 2 meetings of the season, this total started at 7 as well. And who's going to get the start? Well, it should be Skinner getting the start here for the Oilers. I think they're going to sit Campbell on the bench for a little bit after his last couple outings have not been good. Skinner hasn't been so good himself. 1-3-1 to start the season. 3.62 goals against average with an .860 save percentage. But you can say that he has those numbers, but when your team's just giving you odd man breaks all the time, coming right at you, leaving you out to dry, it's really tough for any goalie back there. I didn't think Patrick Waugh back there would have made a difference. The way this Oilers team has been just giving up odd man rushes, turning the puck over and over and over. And I think this is a veteran team that eventually at some point, if you would have heard me in the video, I said it's like a snowball. One mistake leads to another mistake, to another mistake, to another mistake, and it just continues, and down the hill it goes with the big giant rolling ball. And that's what the Oilers have started the season with. It is what it is. Does it change eventually? Eventually, I think it does change. And I think this, you get embarrassed after getting embarrassed so over and over and over. It's like Temple. After getting embarrassed over and over and over again, finally you stand up and say, "Hey, time to have a good game." And I think this is one of those games that they do have a good game. And this total of 7 is a little bit high for me. You look, I think Skinner stands on his head. Then you look at Demko on the other side in goal, and he's just been lights out in goal. He's got a sub-2 goals against average to start the year, and that's the reason why this Canucks team has been winning. Sure, they got 10 against the Sharks, but who hasn't got 10 against the Sharks in the last couple? So I'm not going to take onus of the Canucks scored 10 against the Sharks. In this one, I think this Oilers team got to get back to basic hockey, and that starts with defense. Everybody's accountable for everybody where they are on the ice, and you start by staying in your zone, playing kind of a trap style, which is what we get to see here tonight, and I think that's why I'm going to go with the under 7. 6-2-2 the last 10 meetings to the under, 4-1 to the under in the last 5 in Vancouver. Sure, we've seen game 1 in the opening night where it was 8-1. I think we see a 4-2 game, 4-3, kind of like we might get a push, but I don't think so. I think we get 3-2, 4-2 at best in this one. I would lean to the Canucks too until the Oilers can get some wins. I think the Canucks stance is still in order.
There you go. Canucks stance still in order. Of course, Rod, last year was the controversy with the coaching change. What do you make with this coaching change here with the Canucks we saw last year, right?
Well, look what they've done, right? Ever since the Canucks have made that coaching change, they love the coach, and they start. You can see it in their work ethic, the way they come out and play hockey. They play for this guy, and he's a player's coach. He's one of those guys that played in the league and very well respected by all the players.
Tough guy.
On the Canucks.
Tough guy.
They love tough guy, right? He's got the grit, so he won't put up with guff. You better get in there, and you better. He's like the new hockey, old school Sutter guy, bringing it forward, but bringing better ways of presenting the team. And look at what the team has done. They've responded to him, and definitely been lighting the lamp and beating teams. 5-0 to the puck line at home, 7-0 to the puck line. The last 7 at home are these Canucks. So if you really want to take that at find the other one. Take the -1.5. I think you can get almost double your money. Canucks to win by 2.
Wow, there you go from Rod there. Rod, we got the East and West final odds now here for CFL coming up here on Saturday. As you said, favorites get through. Montreal, Toronto. Toronto looks like they're laying 9.5, total 50.5. Yeah,
and you look at these CFL games this weekend. Just like I said, the teams that figured we're going to win. And heading towards Montreal, sure, good season. Thanks for coming out, but you're going to cover 9.5 against this Toronto team. Good luck to you. Toronto's all rested, well rested. I think they win by 21 plus. Punch their ticket to the Grey Cup. I don't even see this being close. Montreal sure tried, but you're just going against a beast of a team. I would say pretty close to one of the top 5 CFL teams in history. The way this Toronto team plays, they're going to be tough to knock off at the Grey Cup. I think they cakewalk to the Grey Cup in this one, win by 14, at least by 14 in this one.
All right, so a big number there. BC, Winnipeg in game 2. here in the West Final. 4.5 Winnipeg, total 49.5.
Yeah, 4.5? What? Give me BC Lions plus the 4.5 in this one. I know I said last week that I like Winnipeg to win. Winnipeg probably does win this game, but this comes down to who's got the ball last. And most likely a field goal is going to win this game at the end if BC doesn't run away with it. BC played really good last week. Their defense is good. They got the number 1 tackler in the league. This is going to be a war. I like the over. I think we see a whole lot of points in this one, and you're going to give me 4.5 with BC. As I said, I think this is a 3-point game all day. Take the over and BC Lions plus the points.
All right, East and West Finals on Saturday. CFL, then heading to just 1 week later will be the Grey Cup. On the record here, Rod, Oilers Canucks under 7. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. NFL college basketball on the board. We also have NBA, NHL. Lots of action tonight. Great results in NFL. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
And over at Pick Dogs Premium, I've got 3 plays in college basketball tonight. College basketball rim rockers triple package. I've got my 10-star play of the day. That's in the NHL. And then I've got my Monday Night Football blank check. Absolutely love tonight's Monday Night Football. I don't know where you can see in NFL. Let's finish the week strong. Finish a nice winning Sunday in the NFL. Let's carry that over here to Monday and get a nice winner there. Continue rolling along. Loaded week of action. If you want, jump on a week pass and join me as well. We start heating up this week. College hoops, got NBA, hockey, and college football's back as well. Starting tomorrow. So loaded week of action. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. And hey, why not check out that 2-for-1 capper deal? Can't go wrong with that as well. Check that out over at pickdogs.com.
That's right. Get on board with Rod Zwecky over at Pick Dogs. A premium long-term pass is the way to go. All the sports overlapping. You got your, NBA, college basketball, NFL, college football. A lot's going on right now. And use the promo code Save Yourself Money. All right, Rod, as always, great having you show. Have a great night. I know you're hard at work here after the show, getting those videos. Big NHL card tomorrow with your video series.
Yeah, definitely massive card tomorrow. Like, subscribe. That way you get notified when those videos drop and you get the best of the number with us. There's 10 hockey games tomorrow. Got a parlay in there as well, so 11 will be coming your way shortly for tomorrow's action. Definitely go check out today's action as well. Definitely got a good pile there. 4 games plus a parlay video as well today. Even a small card day, I'll find you a parlay.
Oh yeah, he'll find it. That's right. All right, Rod.
Definitely, always
been it rolling. All right, have a great night. A lot of action here. Good college hoops tonight. Your team Bellarmine's in action too later tonight against Wash. Any thoughts on that one?
I like Washington. I think Washington rolls in that one. Bellarmine, I'm going to take a step back. I know they've made us some money over the last couple seasons. Not this season. I think Washington rolls. Got to go with Washington in that one.
All right, Pac-12 network there. And, of course, Kansas State USC would be the big one tonight at 10 Eastern on TNT.
I'm going to go Kansas State on the money line. Everybody's all hung up on this USC, and everybody looks like that ship's getting loaded. It's getting pretty full and heavy, so I'm going to go over here with Kansas State. I'm going to take them on the money line.
They came on strong after a slow start last year. No Bronny in the lineup for USC. Good to see how that situation plays out.
Right, that's what I'm thinking too, and I think everybody's overreacted to USC a little. I'm going to go with that's why I like K-State in this one tonight. I'm going to take on money line. I don't even think we need the points.
There you go.
If you want to take the points, but money line, they outright them tonight.
There you go. Also, too, I want to make note, happy birthday to Rod Zawacki. It's a birthday today, so happy birthday. Our chat room is chiming in as well.
Thank you. Thanks for the birthday wishes. The big old 47. Wow, 47 years. It flies by, I'm telling you. Take life in and take that time to enjoy things where you can. Enjoy family, friends, and everything, because time flies. I'm telling you. It's 47. I can't believe 47 already.
Yeah,
like when you look at it, I look back and it just feels like yesterday.
Yeah, it starts to fly once you hit 21, right? In the first 21 years of your life feels like 100 years. And then after that, it just flies by, right?
Yeah, and then once you become of age and life hits you, right, smack dab in the face, and you got to get going. And then it just flies right on by. So definitely enjoy the little times and those little moments that you get in life. And also fade the Oilers early and often until they show us.
Oh, yes, until then. And what about these Kings? Where did this come from?
Something on offense, right?
Yeah.
Almost like,
Yeah.
Wow, the Kings were good last season, but this year they finally found some offense. What they haven't found over the last couple seasons, that offense started to get going. And they've been lighting the lamp at such a high pace. best in the NHL that lighten the lamp. Los Angeles Kings.
The Los Angeles Kings.
Yeah, we'll see 4 goals a game.
And we'll see what the defense, when it matters, what happens there. We'll see.
Still not as bad as the Wild on defense, but still.
Oh, that's right. No doubt. All right, Rod, enjoy your birthday cake for night tonight, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Thanks, Tony, you guys, and everybody. Appreciate y'all. Have yourself a good night. I know I will.
That's right. Rod will. All right, Rod Zwacki here on the drive through. Let's continue on here. You'll get my pick in a minute because my game starts in about half an hour. So let's get to the recap, and then I'll let you know what I like. Here we go. We start off with Brian, Rockets plus 2.5 against the Kings. David likes Stars money line minus 139 against the Bruins. Jay liked the 76ers, laid the 11 against Wizards. Javon Spurs Pacers over the total. Rod Oilers Canucks under 7. I'll be on the Lakers at the plus against the Heat. What I like the most, I like that Pacer, that Javon's pick on Spurs Pacer with a high pace tonight. And let's go back to my game here. This is not my game. It's actually, we'll get it here in a second. I wish I could have changed that one. Do over on that one, right? Let's get my game up there. I've got NBA on the board tonight. Starts in about half an hour. So usually we'll go a little bit over because we get a little more picks out of it, right? When we go over, we get a little bit more picks from the guys. So you guys like that. All right, here we go. Lakers, Heat. Looks like I'm getting another half point on this one. Lakers here at +1. We know the Heat has had their difficulties at home covering spreads. And the key here for me is the Lakers are facing a team that's playing poor defense right now. And that's kind of the key to me. When Lakers are facing bad defensive teams, I'm going to be on them. I don't care if they're home, they're away, we're getting 1.5. That's how I'm going to play it here. I know a lot of supporting cast members are out, but we got Davis and LeBron in, and we've got a Miami Heat team that's giving up 49% shooting and 39% from 3. They're not fine-tuned yet. This is the November version of the Heat, which will be a lot different than we see the May and June, or actually we should say the April, May, and June version of the Heat will be much better. But in November, give me the Lakers. Give me the Lakers here because the Heat aren't playing any defense. And again, against bad defensive teams, I will go that route. All right, guys. Over at Pick Dogs. I got a 3-pack from the NBA. I also have a single best bet from Monday Night Football tonight. So get on board. We can go long-term with my long-term pass, my 3-7 or 3-day All Sports Pass. Got all my pre and plays for that time period to select. When you go over to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. We'll save you that 15% off. And the multi-cap promotion, even greater value there. All right, let's get to do it here for the show. Remember, you guys check out Pick Dogs, our channel here. Subscribe. Always get started with that morning show at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time during the week. We got Mitch, we got Chris, we got Jay with the morning show. Also, Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tool Show, roundtable discussion as well with Mitch. We also have the wraparound with Chris, Jay's Jam Session, NBA, NFL as well. Also with the Rod with its NHL video series, All Access with Big Al McMorty. We got Mills with the UFC rundown and his prop video. Brad Francis also parlay videos and more. Romanelli again, called Football Rundown from Ron Romanelli. So we have lots of content for you guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications so when these videos drop, you get them in real time. Get the best numbers. All right, that's going to do it here for our show tonight, guys. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us in the chat. Blake, shout out to you. Barry as well. Ramon in there as well. John Stewart's in there. And we have Chuck Chill Out in there as well. Bill McDonald in the show, as well as Paco Tense. Shout out Nicholas Handy as well. And we've got the money in there as well in the chat tonight. Nicholas Handy, Lando in there as well. So Live Dogs joined us, and so did Robert Pitts. So thanks to everybody for joining us in the chat. Appreciate everyone's contribution. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. Goodbye, guys. You guys have a great evening, afternoon.